All right, gang. All right, gang. So the MS400 is all done, all ported up. Check it out. Let's turn it around. Give you. Gotta say, I'm getting pretty damn good. And really, honestly, I owe it all to the Lucky Dog handpiece from Sean Carr. That thing is glorious. Right? I know it looks like there's not a bevel there. That's how good I'm getting. There's definitely a bevel there. That's your exhaust port. The transfers are staggered. This is Jeff's recipe. That one right there is a little rough. The transfers are staggered. All right. I don't know if he wants his recipe out there, so I'm not gonna put it out there. But that's what I can tell you. The exhaust, I was aiming for 97. I ended up getting 96.4. All right. And right here, cut all of that out, all of that, the cylinder skirt away, and then blended that over. There was a seam right in the middle. You can still see remnants of it left behind. There was a seam, and I wanted to knock that off. And well, I just went ahead and textured the whole back side right there. The intake, nothing has been done. Nothing, not at all, nothing. Is that clear? I didn't do anything to the intake at all. It landed with the machine work at 80 degrees. So the intake opens at 80, the exhaust opens at 96.4, and the transfers are a slight mystery, but to you guys, not to me. How much did I machine it? Took 45 thousandths out of the combustion chamber, and that means I dropped like 55 thousandths off of the base. We are going to still run the base gasket in this thing, and we should be good to go. We've got it ended up with 26 thousandths on the squish, which I like. Jeff told me to do 20 thousandths. I tried, didn't work out. But I tried to follow Jeff's recipe to the letter. All right, because I tried to do that. So, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to put it in this video. Yeah, I'll put it in this video. When you're porting these things, all right, and all the stuff that I'm about to tell you came from a combination of Tim at Iowa Performance Saws and Jeff as well. So, Jeff Seacombe, Leave Nothing Stock. I want to give credit where credit is due here. Both those gentlemen helped me out a lot on porting these 400s. So, here you go. First thing that you've got to watch out for, you see that untouched spot right there? That is a flat spot. It is completely flat. So that means whenever you are spinning this on the lathe, that spot gets missed. It doesn't get hit. So you have to either A, go back in with like a Dremel or, a rotary tool and clean up that spot that doesn't get missed, or B, this is what I did, I just kept turning until that flat spot was gone. What I did was I set up my lathe and I ran my tool in against that flat spot. That might have been where I did it, that I ran my tool in on that flat spot, and then I zeroed my digital display, all right? So I knew how far to go in, and I just cut in. Let me tell you, it was a little scary because I was thinking I was going to cut the skirt off, but afterwards I took it off and I measured it and everything, and it's just fine. You can see a little bit of how it bows in, Anyways, But yeah, I just kept on cutting until I got it all the way, and that flat spot was not an issue. That's the first thing that you have to deal with. The second thing, you know what? It may have been all me. This may be only I had a problem with this, but right here, come on, those corners right up in there. See those corners? I felt like they were causing a problem. So, very simple. I just took and I rounded these off right like that. Now, it may not have needed that, but it doesn't hurt. We still got plenty of room, but I rounded off these corners. I went ahead and did it on all of them, but yeah. So there's that. Then the other thing to look out for is that guy right there. All right. That right there goes really deep. And whenever you are raising that front transfer right there, I'm trying to zoom in on it. Whenever you're doing that little corner right there. I know you know what I'm talking about, but right there, when you're doing that little corner right there, if you go too high or too deep, if you get greedy, then that hole right there will poke through. Now, how do I know this? Whenever clearly I did not poke through, as well as this is the very first time I've ever touched one of these 400s. Because people told me. There's a reason why it's hard to even, I'm as good as I am, right, at this point. There's a reason why I'm as good as I am at this point. It's because I've had a lot of people give me tips and tricks. So, why am I going to try and grind that out further to see how far I can go whenever someone else has already done it and was kind enough to give me tips? Thank you very much to Jeff for that, as well as some of them were from Tim as well, and I'm passing them along to you guys. I don't think that either one of those guys would care about that. And the other tip was the last tip. There was a little nub right there. Grind that off. That way, your live center right there has something nice. It just doesn't get in the way. That's just kind of in the way. And whenever you're grinding that off, be really careful because it'll skip around and cause a problem. Your bit can cause a problem. So there's the port work on the MS400. And now I'm going to put it together and we'll give it a run and see if it made a difference. I think it made a difference. I mean, hopefully it's as good as everybody else, what they've done to these things. They really, really run well when ported. So we'll see. Fingers crossed.